Nobody, you, Marcel, nobody said anything to me or her. Like, even when you, Mel, y'all had conversations, Mel didn't call you a name to your face. She didn't call you a trick. She didn't call you a hoe. She didn't say you interfered with her marriage. This girl called me all of those things.
Reality television is known for its chaos, unexpected twists, and emotional explosions. But sometimes, a single confrontation becomes bigger than just a fight. It becomes a turning point. The moment that makes people stop scrolling, replay clips, and argue endlessly online. That's exactly what happened when Kimmi Scott raised her voice at LaTisha in front of millions. Fans couldn't believe what they were watching. Kimmi, who had always carried herself with pride, appeared strong and unshakable on screen. She had a reputation for being confident, outspoken, and unwilling to hide her feelings. People admired her because she said what others only whispered. To viewers, she looked untouchable. But in the world of reality shows, appearances don't always match the truth. The cameras capture everything: looks, pauses, whispered words, and emotional cracks. Even the strongest people can reach a breaking point. That breaking point came for Kimmi, and LaTisha just happened to be standing on the other side of it. But this fight didn't start the moment we saw it on television. It wasn't a sudden burst of anger. It was the result of months of buildup. Small slights, subtle remarks, and moments that looked harmless on the surface but carried weight when stacked together. No one wakes up one morning and decides, "Today, I'm going to lose control in front of the entire world." There's always a story that explains the explosion, and for Kimmi, that story had been developing for a long time. In the beginning, Kimmi and LaTisha seemed like natural friends. When filming first started, their relationship appeared easy and supportive. They laughed together, backed each other during small disagreements, and shared inside jokes that made them look close. To viewers, it looked like they were building a bond that could survive the roller coaster of reality TV. Fans expected them to stay allies through thick and thin. But even during those early days, tiny cracks were forming. Nothing dramatic at first, just little things that most people might brush off. A comment that sounded more cutting than playful. A decision that Kimmi didn't agree with. A glance from LaTisha that seemed harmless but didn't match the mood. Small things, but Kimmi was sharp. She didn't let things slide easily. She noticed everything, kept mental notes, and quietly carried the weight of those moments. Behind the scenes, away from the edited footage, the cracks widened. LaTisha sometimes repeated private conversations to other cast members. She didn't intend to cause harm, but to Kimmi, it felt like betrayal. Trust, once damaged, is hard to rebuild. On top of that, LaTisha made little remarks about Kimmi's personal life. They weren't major insults, but they were enough to sting, especially because they came from someone she thought was a friend. Each whisper, each offhanded dig became fuel for the fire that was slowly burning inside Kimmi. One of the biggest challenges between the two women was how differently they communicated. Kimmi was bold and straightforward. If she had something to say, she said it, no matter who got offended. LaTisha was the opposite. She was cautious, indirect, and avoided outright conflict. She preferred subtlety, while Kimmi believed in honesty at all costs. That difference became a breeding ground for miscommunication. When LaTisha tried to handle things delicately, Kimmi saw it as avoidance. When Kimmi confronted an issue head-on, LaTisha felt attacked and thought she was overreacting. Over time, even minor disagreements took hours to settle because both women carried months of unspoken resentment into each conversation. And then it came the outside factor that made everything worse: social media. Every cast member knew the cameras weren't the only eyes watching. Fans dissected every scene on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. A vague post could be read as shade. A comment without context could start an entire debate. Supporters analyzed every photo, every caption, every pause during a scene. Kimmi's followers saw her as strong, confident, and fearless. They defended her whenever criticism came her way. LaTisha's circle saw her differently, often interpreting the same behaviors in another light. With thousands of fans ready to choose sides, every little thing between the women grew heavier. Even when the cameras weren't rolling, the pressure never stopped. It only took one scene for everything to collapse. During a lighthearted moment, LaTisha made a comment that she thought was harmless. But for Kimmi, it was the final straw. All those small slights, every hidden frustration, every whispered remark, suddenly they came together like a storm. Kimmi's response was sharp, clear, and unforgettable. Her voice cut through the noise, and the room fell silent. Time seemed to freeze as the other cast members looked around, unsure whether to intervene or stay out of the way. LaTisha's expression shifted quickly. First came shock, then defensiveness. She hadn't expected the weight of months of tension to crash down in that moment. She tried to respond, but her words came out shaky, uneven. For the first time, she looked unsteady. Kimmi, however, didn't waver. Her anger wasn't just about that single comment. It was about everything leading up to it. Every pause, every gesture, every carefully controlled word carried the power of months of bottled emotions. It wasn't acting for the cameras. It was raw, unfiltered truth. Even the calmest cast members couldn't ignore it. They knew this wasn't just another disagreement for ratings. This was a line being drawn in real time, a boundary Kimmi had decided she would no longer let anyone cross. After Kimmi's eruption, the atmosphere shifted completely. The once casual conversation turned into a tense, heavy silence. The cast members reacted differently. Some tried to step in and smooth things over, while others stayed frozen, watching the drama unfold. The alliances within the group shifted subtly. People who had been neutral were now forced to consider where they stood. And then, as always, the drama left the room and hit the internet. Clips of the confrontation spread within hours. Fans replayed them over and over, analyzing body language, tone, and facial expressions. Did LaTisha's eyes show guilt? Did Kimmi's pause mean she held back even more than she said? Every tiny detail was turned into theories. Social media exploded. Hashtags trended. Memes flooded feeds. Suddenly, there were two camps, Team Kimmi and Team LaTisha. Both sides were passionate, and both were loud. The argument wasn't just about who was right or wrong. It became a broader discussion about loyalty, honesty, and the importance of boundaries. For Kimmi, the fight boosted her reputation as someone who stood up for herself. Fans admired her courage, but the admiration came with pressure. Now, people expected her to remain fearless all the time. Every interview, every Instagram post, every appearance was scrutinized. Her image as a strong, no-nonsense woman became both her strength and her burden. LaTisha faced a different struggle. She hadn't expected the backlash to be so intense. People viewed her differently, questioning her intentions and doubting her trustworthiness. Even among the cast, relationships grew complicated. Some distanced themselves, unsure of where loyalties lay. Others leaned closer to Kimmi, quietly supporting her stance. Online, LaTisha's situation became even harder. Anything she posted could be taken as shade or defense. A simple selfie could spark speculation. She quickly realized that in reality TV, reputation matters as much as actions. What fans believe can shape your entire career. As the weeks passed, the confrontation didn't fade. Instead, it grew larger. Fans kept sharing clips, remixing the scene, and debating who was truly at fault. Kimmi was seen as both a hero and a villain, depending on who you asked. LaTisha was seen as both a victim and an instigator. The fight wasn't just about two women anymore. It became a public story, shaping the way the cast worked together. Simple interactions were no longer simple. A laugh between two people could spark rumors of new alliances. A silence during filming could start speculation about more fights. The show became a chessboard where every move had to be carefully considered. For Kimmi, her boldness became her brand, one that companies and opportunities wanted to attach themselves to. For LaTisha, her path was harder. She had to rebuild trust, prove her sincerity, and find ways to share her side without sounding defensive. Looking back, both women had realizations. Kimmi understood the importance of setting boundaries early instead of letting anger build up until it couldn't be contained. LaTisha learned that even small actions can create massive consequences, especially when cameras are rolling and the world is watching. The moment showed that reality TV isn't just entertainment. It's a mirror reflecting human behavior under pressure. Every word, every pause, every look carries weight when millions are analyzing it. What started as a simple friendship turned into one of the most unforgettable clashes in the show's history. Even long after the camera stopped rolling, fans kept the story alive. They discussed it, debated it, and speculated endlessly. Kimmi and LaTisha's fight became iconic, a reminder that the most memorable reality TV moments aren't the staged ones, but the ones fueled by real, raw emotions. In the end, their confrontation wasn't just a fight. It was a turning point that reshaped relationships, reputations, and careers. And its impact will be remembered far beyond the show itself. And that's where we'll leave it for now. Kimmi and LaTisha's clash wasn't just a fight on camera. It became a lesson in trust, boundaries, and how quickly small issues can grow when the world is watching. What started as friendship turned into a storm that fans still can't stop talking about. But here's the real question. Was Kimmi standing up for herself, or did she go too far? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below, share this video with friends, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the drama.